What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, back with another video. First things first, yes, I got a haircut. Yes, it is bad. I really don't know what happened here other than the guy took his trimmer and literally just started buzzing my hair. So yeah, this is what you get. This week, I wanted to talk to you guys about some basic personal finance rules. You know, that thing that everyone uses but no one seems to teach in school? Yeah, that thing. Today, I wanted to talk about my top 5 personal finance rules that everyone needs to know and everyone should follow. If you follow these rules, hopefully you won't be living paycheck to paycheck anymore and you'll be able to save enough money to maybe even retire early. So let's jump right in with rule number 1. This is the golden budgeting rule, the 50-30-20 rule. Basically, this rule tells you that you're supposed to spend 50% of your take-home pay on your needs, 30% of your take-home pay on wants, and 20% of your take-home pay should go into your savings account. The hardest part about this rule is figuring out the difference between what is a need and what is a want. I would say your basic needs are going to be things like your mortgage, rent, utility bills, phone bills, your loans, whether that be an auto loan, student loans, credit card debt, and then definitely your monthly groceries. But then your wants are going to be things like eating out at a restaurant or going to the movies or buying that video game for your brand new PlayStation 5. And then the other 20% is going to go towards savings, but I even like to take it a step further and set up an automatic deposit into my savings account directly from my paycheck. And when you do that, make sure you're using a high yield savings account so then you're at least making a little bit of money on those savings. Right now, you can get a high yield savings account that's going to pay you anywhere between 0.5% and 1% every single year for your money to just sit there in their bank. So definitely use that and make sure you're getting paid to keep your money in the bank. Rule number 2, you want to have an emergency fund that is going to be at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly salary. You never know when something bad's going to happen, like you get in an accident or coronavirus happens and you lose your job. So being able to have that buffer will just give you time to figure out what your next step's going to be. Once you do eventually have that 6 months of your salary saved up in your emergency fund, you can slowly start playing around with that 20% savings that you have from rule number 1 and maybe move it into something more aggressive like a stock portfolio. Rule number 3, contribute to a 401k. A lot of people either don't have a 401k or don't even know what a 401k is. A 401k is basically a retirement savings account. This money is going to come straight out of your paycheck and go into your 401k account before you pay taxes. And then that money is invested into the stock market and you're going to make on average 10% per year like the stock market has done for the last 100 years. The other big thing that it's going to do for you is lower your taxable income so then you're going to pay less in taxes. Let's say, for example, you make $50,000 a year. If you don't contribute to your 401k, you're going to pay about $10,000 in taxes and you're only going to see $40,000 come to your bank account. Now, let's say that you contribute just $5,000 to your 401k. Now, your taxable income, instead of being $50,000, is only $45,000, and so the amount that you're taxed is actually only about $8,500, so you're saving $1,500. On top of that, like we said, you're investing that $5,000 into the stock market, which is going to give you about 10% every single year. So in 30 years from now, when you're finally ready to retire, that $5,000 is going to be somewhere close to $80,000. And if you want to take it one step further, you're not going to be contributing that $5,000 just one time. You're going to be contributing that every single year for the next 30 years. So when you actually retire, your 401k is going to be close to $850,000. Rule number 4, you want to contribute at least the employer match on your 401k. Most employers are going to have a 401k match that they offer. So basically the way that works is they'll tell you that for every dollar you put in your 401k, they'll put a dollar in your 401k as well, up to a certain percentage of your salary. Now, that's going to be different per employer, but let's say, for example, they say they'll match you on every dollar you put in up to 5% of your salary. So in that case, you want to put at the very least, at least 5% of your salary towards your 401k. Because since your employer is going to match that, that's just free money that you're getting that goes into that 401k. So if we go back to that example from rule number 3, if you're making $50,000 and you contribute $5,000 to your 401k, that means you're putting in about 10% of your salary. Now, if your employer matches 5% of that, then they're going to be putting in an extra $2,500 for you. So now, all of a sudden, instead of contributing $5,000 a year to your 401k, you're actually contributing $7,500. All of a sudden, at the end of 30 years, instead of having $850,000, you're actually going to have somewhere close to $1.3 million. So always make sure that you're putting at least the amount that your employer is going to match, and then whatever you feel comfortable putting on top of that, you still can. And rule number 5, invest your extra money using some sort of investment portfolio or brokerage account. Sometimes if you're really frugal, you can end up paying off all of your bills, buy all the things that you want, and you can get all of your savings done and still have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month. The thing that I like to do is invest that money in some sort of stock portfolio or brokerage account. You can use anything you want, but I personally use Acorns, not a sponsor, but that is the one that I personally use. I like using them because you don't actually have to pick out any specific stocks or companies. You really don't have to know anything about the stock market at all. They'll do it all for you, and it's cheap. It starts at just $1 a month. You really just set it and then forget about it. And like I said, this is after you've already paid your bills, after you've bought all the things that you want. And so it's really just leftover money that you're not really going to miss if you put it in a stock portfolio. In 2020 alone, that portfolio made over 28% for me. And like I said, I didn't have to pick any individual stocks or guess at which companies I thought were going to do well or do poorly. I just put the money in there and then they take care of the rest. If you want to use my referral code, feel free to. I'll leave it down in the description below. And those are my top 5 personal finance rules. I know a lot of these personal finance topics can be really confusing, so if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure you smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your other friends that might also need help with personal finance. If you want to keep up with other things that I'm doing, make sure you follow me on Twitter at JeromeVoz14. And if you guys like the non-finance related videos that I've been posting on this channel, then please consider going and subscribing to the Nonsense Brewery. That is another channel that I'm starting with some other friends. Basically, a podcast and other kind of videos that you've seen on this channel that are not really related to finance, but some of the bonus stuff. So feel free to check them out and follow them on Twitter and Instagram as well. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.